Good evening. Good evening. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to season 2 of Wine Down Wednesday with Real Girls Wine. I am the co owner of Real Girls Wine, Miana or Yana, and we have a very special guest tonight. But before we get to that, I'll allow the other ladies to introduce themselves.
My name is Teresa. I am the other owner of Real Girls Wine.
I'm Latrice. I am first year ambassador. I'm really excited to be aboard and contribute as much as I can to the team. Go team!
Yay!
My name is Keisha. I'm one of the first year ambassadors as well. Definitely happy to be back for season 2 because I missed y'all. So
I know.
get to it.
It seemed like it was forever.
I
That was
know.
great. You almost feel like you missing being someplace.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, that's how it goes. You look Wednesday come up, and then I'm like, I'm supposed to be doing something. Like, oh yeah, we on a hiatus.
Yeah.
And then we have Anthony Finch of Cognac Blac. Welcome to the show this evening.
Welcome.
How are you doing this evening?
I'm doing well. Cannot complain. I'm doing well this evening. Thank you.
Okay, so we're going to get right into it. We're going to let Anthony, we're going to put you right on the floor. We want you to tell us a little bit about yourself. Tell us about Cognac Blac. And then we're going to jump in probably with some questions. We kind of laid back. This is all about relaxing. You already you said you had your tequila. We having our wine. And we're going to just relax and kick it like friends.
That's what we are. Okay, I got it.
So go ahead, tell us about yourself.
So again, my name is Anthony Finch. I'm the owner of Cognac Blac. Married, going on 25 years this New Year's Eve. I have 4 adult children, ranging from 34 down to my youngest girl, who's 20. I've been on Cognac Blac for 3 years. October make my 3rd anniversary. So I'm still pushing forward to grow it to be a multi-million-dollar company.
Okay. Awesome. So Anthony, you said you've been in business 3 years. Real Girls Wine just turned 4. We know how these years can be kind of tough. You trying to figure it out, the marketing piece. Tell us about why you decided to get started. Like, what made you want to get into to your line of work?
Well, part of it all started during COVID. Prior to COVID, and even now, I was doing pedicure, manicures for myself, and that's something, unfortunately, not a lot of Black men are into: self-care, self-grooming, and all that. So during COVID, a lot of the guys that I was starting to hang around with, naturally hanging around with, they started growing beards. And during that time, I would start experimenting myself at home, doing facial masks. So noticing that they was growing beards, and I always been an entrepreneur myself, I was like, maybe I could do a beard product, come out with a beard oil. So I started with that as my first product, just seeing that my friends were starting to grow beards, and I was trying to pull all that together, groom your beard, take care of your beard, and also, take care of yourself.
Okay. So how did you so we had had someone on a few months ago. She has her own makeup line, and she does like the hair oils and stuff like that. And I know sometimes that's like a touchy thing because people have different allergies and different things like that. And sometimes when you're putting together, how did you figure out what was going to work?
Well, one, I have a manufacturer. I wasn't trying to do the DIY stuff at home, because to your point, I know some of us probably I grew up in the South where they used to crack eggs and mix it in the shampoo and so make your hair grow and all that stuff. So I wasn't trying to do none of that. So I actually went through several manufacturers, and what I ended up doing, getting a bunch of samples. I have a cousin that worked outdoors a lot, mainly about 80-90% of his job is outdoors. So he would try my product. And once we got to one that he could put on in the morning and still kept his beard moist throughout the day, that's what I end up selling it on. But I probably went through maybe about 5, 6 different trial and error just to figure out which one I like the best. Also, with my beard oil, I didn't want anything that had fragrance, because one of the things that I am working on in my business portfolio is coming out with a cologne line, hopefully by next summer, if it's definitely by 2025. So I didn't want nothing to clash, so I made sure my beard oil was clean and fresh, so it's really unscented.
Oh, okay.
Okay, a cologne line, huh?
Yep, yep.
Well, Mr. Anthony, I am definitely team beard gang. So I want to hear more about your beard, your products you have. Because when my husband, do you have something that kind of relaxes it, or is it more about moisture, putting the moisture in and it staying, or is it more about the curl pattern and the moisture? Like, is it for everybody to use African American or?
So yes, so it's to answer the question. It's for everybody to use. It does not straighten out the curl pattern. You can't really see, but my beard is kind of curly. I have curly hair, so it doesn't have. I don't have anything like an edge control, let's say, but it mainly is for the moisture and to keep our skin from drying. When people first start growing their beards, it's itchy, and that's because of
Right.
the dryness. So it helps with all that. So and then you might see people that have like different spots, and that's because they're not taking care of they're not taking care of their skin underneath the beard, and then two, it's getting dry, so they just be scratching all day. So that's why you see a lot of the patches in people's beards. But it's mainly for the moisture to keep it moist and soft all day.
Okay. So one application during the day and they're good.
Yep, it should be good. Yes. Now I have it like in a dropper, so a couple drops and you just rub it in. Now, what I tell people to keep to your beard, or people grab it, it's like, and I do have a woman line too. It's like if women take some oil and just put it on their hair, it's not getting to your scalp. But men, for whatever reason, think we can do that to our beard. So what I tell people, put it in your hand and then work your way up from the bottom of your chin up towards your face. That way you make sure you get it underneath your on your skin and underneath your hairs, and keep it nice and coated. Not just put it right on top, because then it's just sitting there.
Okay, so stimulation, get down to
Yes.
the follicles.
Yes,
And I
get
see
down to
that
the
a
follicle.
lot. I see that a lot too. With even in commercials, they show it where they just smack it on their beard, and this
Nah,
they
that's the
gone.
Home Alone look. Nah, we ain't doing that. You get it in there. You got to get it in
Well,
there.
I heard you say that you have women products as well. Can you tell us
Yes.
about that?
So what I did probably about 4 or 5 months ago, I kind of pivoted and added a woman line. So let me tell you what the concept of Cognac Black is. Initially,
Okay.
I started because I like cognac. In college, I was drinking E&J, and as I matured, I get to the VSOP and all those kind of high price cognac brands. So I like cognac. I got it. It's called a cognac, and I'm a black man, so that's how I came up with the name Cognac
Well,
Black.
period.
But Cognac Black is, to me, it's not for every man. Not saying that every man can't use it, but it's for that man that feel like he's mature. He's on walk the walk of life. He has a journey, and it's something about that man that he's embracing. So, like my beard oil is called Ego, and it's not using a negative term, but it's to say I have an ego because I walked this journey and you don't know my story. So the point of my life is I feel I'm confident in myself. I'm self-aware of myself. So it has that kind of meaning behind it. So when I added the woman line to my cognac brand, it has some kind of, I want to say, sexy and sassiness to it. Like my shampoo for one of my shampoo for women is called Flirty Tingle. The other one is called Sensational. And then I have my Nurse and Grow. So I try to get names that I think embody that man or that woman that feel like they're the it. And I want to embrace the fact that why can't I be it? Because to me, when you done matured and you got to a point in your life where you don't have some stripes and bruises along the way, you should be confident in who you are every day you look in the mirror. So that's why I say the brand is for everybody. But if you ain't got that confidence, you ain't got that swag about you, you can't be a cognac black man or woman.
Well, you heard it here. You gotta be confident and have the ego to partake of that.
Are your products natural based too? Like, so say you have a man or woman that has like sensitive skin or like is allergic to everything. Like, are your products more natural based or
how
does that work?
So like I said, with the exception of my Flirty Tingle shampoo, which is mainly like a peppermint eucalyptus, ingredient inside of it, all of it is real mild. Like I have a facial cleanser that my wife uses when she take off her makeup. I use it when I clean my face. That's very mild. Because again, what I was asked earlier, why I don't do it DIY, because I want something that anybody can use. Now, for those that let's say have really oily skin, then that's a kind of different, regimen that you have to follow. But for like sensitive skin or even just normal to dry skin, yes, these products are ideal for that.
Okay. So we talked about the business. Tell us about, I know when we first got on, you said you were calling your wife. How do you balance family life and being a successful business owner?
I pre-plan what I want to do with my family. So like now, next year we got 2 week planned trips for next year. With my knowing that ahead of time, I do what I got to do. I do my hustle and bustle up to that point. When it's time for me to take my vacation, I go disconnect from the business part of it and just enjoy my family. So I work into like my schedule, but I do it in advance. Like I just said earlier, my anniversary December 31st. That week is all my family week. 25 years. I joke about it that I've gotten to the 25 years of marriage. That's my silver anniversary. So that whole week is probably be my wife hanging out, having a good time, doing what we like to do, which is mainly listening to live music and stuff of that nature. So I plan ahead of time when I want to take a break. But other than that, I just grind.
Is that your motivation? Your family? Do you want to leave a legacy? Like, what's the
It's part of it.
motivation?
My drive is to just give my kids options. I always believe you have options, then you won't feel like you're stuck. And what I mean by that, of my 4 kids, all three of them has graduated college. Well, one is in college right now, but she'll graduate next year. I want to give them an option. You don't have to say I got to work a 9 to 5. You don't have to say I want to be an entrepreneur. You can find the balance what you choose to do. And I want them to mainly understand whatever you want, it's gonna take hard work. Like I said, my week planned vacation with 1 week vacation that we planning next year. We working hard to make sure that we're able to afford it, and then make sure when we go, we don't have to worry about nothing back home. That's planning. That's putting in the work to do it. Whereas if I don't show them how we doing it, then when they get to the age where they want, I want to go on a trip, they probably gonna wait to the last minute to one try to pay for it and two try to plan it. So the whole point of me doing Cognac Blac, I've been an entrepreneur since probably 16. So I've done different businesses. Even when I was in college, I ran a restaurant, I ran a catering business. But now that my kids are older, meaning teenagers and older, they get to see. They can see like when dad getting up in the morning, he put labels on his bottle, then he run to work. Dad coming home, he filling up his beard oil, putting labels on it. Dad running to Staples and doing all this stuff. Dad doing pop-up. So they get to see the work ethic. So that's what I really want them to understand. Put in the work, have a good work ethic, and whatever you feel like you desire, you're going to get it. It's just going to come to you. You can't just wish for it.
Yeah, entrepreneurship is not easy. People think
Definitely
that
not.
it takes constant work, even sometimes when you're tired. I once heard something, especially if you work a job. I once heard somebody say, "Work your 9 to 5, but work your 5 to 9 just as hard as you work that 9 to 5, because that's what's going to eventually get you out of the 9 to 5."
Yes.
And people and so a lot of times, like our family has to, take along that sacrifice, because when we get off at 5 o'clock, we got to do that 5 to 9, which means taking care of the business. And sometimes I feel like our families do get the short end of the stick, but in the beginning, but later you have to start trying to find a balance, which is sometimes hard. I know it is for me.
Well, one of the things, like with my daughter, like I said, she's 20 now. She's in her 3rd year in college. And she's my daddy girl. So she always asks me for money. So instead of me just giving it to her, come on, I need you to label 50 bottles. Come on. So I brought her into what I'm doing. So instead of me just giving her money because she wanted or whatever, let's work in the business. And that was like you asked earlier, we schedule time. Like typically Friday night would be we've been doing it for years, be our pizza night. So typically Friday is where I don't do anything. We sit down, chit chat, find out what's going on with them, because they got their little busy lives going on. But we try to have a moment where we at least discuss with them, what's going on. But I get them involved in the business, even though they don't like it and all that. But I'm like, well, here's a trade-off. When this becomes successful, you're gonna want to be part of your keep, in the family. I'm not just gonna give it to you when you haven't put the blood and sweat and tears in this thing. If you ain't can't tell me how much my shampoo weighs, so if you don't get involved with it, I can't just give it to you because you didn't earn it, you didn't participate. So I try to get them to incorporate what I do. Even when I go to pop-ups, I'm like, come on, you can come, drive out of the car, you can help me set up. After you help me set up, you can leave, but they get to see. And now it's to a point where they kind of, I ain't say like enjoy it because it's work to them, it's not their passion, but they get to see, okay, this is what helped me when I said I want a new iPhone. This is where Dad getting the money from, that kind of thing.
So you would say family is very important, and that's your support system.
Family for me is 100%. I wouldn't trade family for anything, because I've learned over the years that when let me back up. I used to always say when I make a little extra money, I could do X, Y, and Z. And every time I made a little extra money, I kept saying when I get to the next level. But the one thing that was always consistent was my family. They didn't change because I made more money. They didn't change because I made less money. And when I got, like you said, when you get home after 5 o'clock and you're tired, it's my family. I can look and say, wow. Like I can say my son went to Hawaii because I took him on a trip. But that's causing my business. I was able to take him on a trip. Now when I see him planning his 25th birthday party, he's trying to decide, do he want to go on a week-long cruise, or do he want to go like to Africa, or do he want to go to Japan with his older brother? That's my drive. So my family and their happiness is so paramount to everything that I do.
Well, that's amazing to hear. That's good to hear. That's a good role model. You're setting the bar high.
I'm trying. I'm trying. We got to go get it.
It sounds like you're doing a great job.
It ain't easy for us, and people like look like us. It's definitely not easy. So it's really just gonna keep trying and trying. Like we were saying earlier, you guys have been in business 4 years, and I'm pretty sure, and I hope it hasn't happened. I hope it has happened. I should say there's no venture capitalist knocking at your door and say, "I think this is a good concept. Here's $1 million. Go for it." Because we have to mostly bootstrap ourselves. One, because we don't have a lot of family members that are entrepreneurs. Two, those that quote unquote say they're entrepreneur, it's a hobby because they're not doing the 5 to 9, or they're not doing the weekends, or they're not saying, "Oh man, I would love to go to a Halloween party, but I got a pop-up to go to. So let me go to the pop-up, make a couple of dollars," as opposed to spending money on a costume to have a drink or two. With that being said, we have to make those sacrifices to build what we want to build. And along that journey, we're teaching lessons too to those that are around us. Like, wow, they doing it. Because I just feel like it's not easy. Like somebody asked me about 2 weeks ago, what happened if Cognac Blac fail? I'm saying, okay, if it fails, Bill Gates failed.
Right.
Ellison failed.
Donald Trump.
He didn't get his case. So, and if it failed, it failed. But what I won't ever do is sit back and say, I wish I would have.
Yeah.
What if?
Yeah.
I would never say that. I've gotten a chance to do things, with my brand, meet people, talk to people that like it, don't like it. So it multi-million dollars or not, it will never be a failure.
Right. So what advice or what encouragement would you give someone who's wanting to venture out? I have so many ideas. Fear is a big factor, but I'm like you said, I'm ready to have something of my own now. So what advice would you give to someone who wants to start a business, or maybe do something that you're doing or comparable to it, or just a business?
Why not? Why not start it? Because this is what I like I said, when you talk about family, I incorporate my family to everything that I do. I always tell my kids, even when they were young, you have if you put everything in a 5-year prism, the question is, are you gonna look the same in 5 years as you do today, or are you gonna be different? And other than death, you should be different. So if you ought to know where you're at right now, why not try it? What's the worst thing you're gonna do? You're gonna lose some money? Okay, you lose some money, but you don't have that in your head. What if? I never want to ever say, what if I would have, if I could have, I should have. And as far as which one to decide on, which one can you do in your sleep? that you know, hands down, I can do this, I can do this, I can do this. You know, like I do a lot of reading and looking at other like business people. About 6 months ago, they said, ask your friends that have been around you 15, 20 years, what if they could go back in time, what would they have you do as a career? Now, my career is accounting. Over half my friends, including my wife, like be a motivational speaker. That's the one thing I never wanted to do. But about 4 weeks ago, I said, you know what? I got to embrace it. Because if people are telling me they feel by whatever I've done with them and how I have or have not impacted their life, that they see me as a speaker, maybe not the Les Browns of the world, then who am I to not try it? It's kind of being selfish. If that's the gift that they see in me, and apparently God gave it to me, why can't I embrace it? So for those that want to be an entrepreneur, there's something in you that told you to think like that. There's something that said you should do this. But the longer you keep saying nope, 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 you pushing it further and further off. And that's when the curveballs of life get in the way. And you're like, well, I can't do it today because I just bought a house. Can't do it now. I just bought another car. So if you don't ever start, you never get close to that finish line.
I live by the saying that no time will ever be the right time to start a business.
And perfection doesn't exist. And you wait on perfection, you will never catch it.
Exactly. So, and if you never start, how do you know it won't? How do you know it will be successful?
That's right.
And you know, and one thing that we've learned in business is, even though you have a brand, in order to keep growing, you're gonna have to keep rebranding and rebranding and rebranding. A business is trial and error. It's not going to be 100% perfect the first time around. No. So you just have to keep on rebranding.
And you can't be afraid of it, because I think I done changed my label at least 4 times. And since I was like, look, I don't like that one. Oh, I want to be shiny. No, I don't like that. Men ain't gonna like shiny. You know, so even now I'm looking at my beard, my growth oil for women. The label is black, but on a website it's pink because that's the color that I wanted. But when I first did it, I got black labels. So you are constantly evolving. Like my hat, I got a compliment on my hat earlier, and thank you again. This is part of my brand. My hat is part of my brand. I have probably 10 different color hats, but it's part of, when you see Cognac Black, you're gonna see me in a hat.
And the beard. You gotta have a beard. You gotta have a beard. Gotta have a beard.
Now I did tell my wife, honestly, I said if it start itching, it's coming off. But so far it ain't been itching, so I'm good.
Well, that's because you've been using your own products. So that's why it's not itching.
I have to. Now let me tell you a funny story. So when I first did the beard oil, I also did the facial wash. And the first big event I did was the Black Woman Expo. And probably 9 out of 10 guys that came by that I was trying to sell stuff to, they said they didn't wash their face with anything but what they put on in the shower. I was like, wait a minute. I literally went home and like, let me check my counter. Do I got any facial wash? Because it shocked me to know that a lot of men don't like have a regimen in the bathroom. Like you ladies know, and I guess it's just how women do it. You guys got like 3-4 steps before you go to bed. You got to wash, moisturize, toner. You do all this extra stuff. Guys don't do that, which was one of the reasons I ended up pivoting to the women brand as to include in my overall company, because I'm like, selling to men been the biggest challenge of my business, because it's a lot of education. Like you ladies might not know which company to buy a toner from or moisturizer or facial wash, but they know they need it. So they would go get it. Whereas a man, he's like, I don't need that stuff. I don't need putting on my beard. I'll throw some Vaseline on it, call it a day. You know. So education has been big on the men's side.
Because my husband would use the bar of soap from head to toe, the bar of soap on his beard, on his face.
Telling his business.
Real.
That's why I discontinued. I used to have a men's body wash. I discontinued it. I was like, once I sell out, I'm done. Because I just go to Dollar General and buy it. Kind of back to your point about the natural products. I'm like, but it's not the Dollar General. It doesn't have all that sulfate in it. But it's $5. I'm like, okay, mine ain't gonna be $5. So I'm sorry.
And women, we research, we looking, trying to see what's in the product, how is this going to affect our skin, you know, how it's going to affect, because we don't want nothing to irritate our faces just our bodies, period. But we definitely, when it comes down to that, we are definitely reading.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Now, Anthony, do you feel that you had any challenges with being a Black man and being a entrepreneur? Because of course, being a person of color, I feel like we have to work 20 times harder than everybody else to be successful at stuff. So have you had any challenges in that area? What would be your advice to people of color that are trying to start businesses, and so we don't have to work 20 times harder?
I think so. Like I said, I've been an entrepreneur since high school. I'm not high school, right after high school. The biggest challenge is us convincing us to buy from us. And we all heard it. We got bad customer service or whatever, and all this stuff. I think most of that is not true. I just think if they do one little small thing wrong, people magnify it. So what I would say, when you start your business, go above and beyond and provide that customer service. If I like when I first do my beard oil and I was selling it, I tell you, the people that buy it, if you don't like it, go to info at Cognac Blac, tell them, hey, Mr. Finch, I'm sending this beard oil back to you. I'll give you a refund, no question asked. Because it's not gonna do me any good if you badmouth me on the internet about my beard oil. But if you don't like it, just give it back to me. Here's your money and go, because I want loyal followers. So I think the biggest challenge is we got to get our people have to be willing to allow us an opportunity to learn and to grow. Like when I hear people say, well, this restaurant wasn't good. Did you go talk to the owner? Nah. But yet I've seen you guys sit next to other racists, mainly getting your nails and feet done, don't understand what they saying, then complain that they talking about you. But then 2 weeks later, you right back in that same seat.
Come right back.
Come right back.
Because they're cheaper and
cheaper is not always good.
And that's what right. And then that's what Tony just said. It's hard because we Blacks always want a deal or get something for nothing.
That's it.
And I find that's so true, because I know, like, I'll see people go and pay an arm and a leg for something, but then when you put out something for for business, then a Black-owned business, I hate to say, then it's like, oh, that price too high. But you would spend all this money to go over here.
Because Gucci don't go on sale, Louis Vuitton don't go on sale, Prada don't go on, and you break your neck getting that.
Sure will.
Yeah, but they think because we're a Black-owned business, then we're supposed to take a short just because of that. Elijah has a question. He said, where is the company based out of? And is there a shipping cost based on the items purchased?
Good question.
We're out of the south suburbs of Chicago, and the shipping cost is based on the weight of the products that you purchase. So it's discounted because we have partnership with like the UPS and the post office. So, but the shipping cost is based on the weight of the products. And they can find all that at the website.
Okay.
So you're online.
Give them the website again?
Okay. Yeah. I'm on. Yes, I'm on the website, cognacblac.com. Yes.
So I heard you say about you vend at different. You're a vendor at different places. Because I know it was just a woman's expo like a week ago. Were you there at Rosemont?
Rosemont, yeah.
Oh, you were there because I was.
No, I didn't go there. No, because this is why I didn't go there. I'm doing a Halloween vendor event for the Easter Star next Saturday or next Sunday. But I didn't go to the Woman Expo because, like I said earlier, I've been to 3 Black Woman Expos. The very first one was successful. And in my opinion, why it was successful, they created a men's den. It was just vendors that would cater and sell products to men. And it was kind of advertised like that too. Because, and this is what I learned over the last 3 years, dealing with Black men in my product. If you say Black Woman Expo, most men, we really don't like shopping with y'all women. So it would be hard for us to go to an expo that's catered to women when we don't think there's nothing in there for us. It's different to say, let's go to the mall and I can go over to maybe Joseph Bank and you can go to Pink or Victoria's Secret. That's different. So the first time I did it, it was successful. When I went to Detroit and Atlanta, I didn't have success because it wasn't enough men that came in that was looking to patronize business. They they wasn't looking for black men. I mean, black male products.
And I think that's a big thing too, because a lot, I guess they don't. I feel like you were saying earlier, men don't think about think about those things like their face, taking care of facial care, that type of thing that they don't take care. But women, we do. But I think that if men are educated about it, then I think it might change that stigma, because a lot of times they don't know where to go. They don't know where to start. And sometimes, like I said, ego will keep them from going to ask the questions about it.
And that's something I'm working on. And again, it's all cost driven. I'm doing like I started a Facebook page called My Beard, My Rule. So I'm trying to organize an event where it's going to be for black men to showcase us, in that very positive light, suited and booted, looking good. Like I said, I think, and because of who I am as a black man, we're the only race of men, or people, I should say, that have swag. I seen bomb to our former president that had swag. So I want to embrace that. I want us black men to get back to owning who we are. I grew up in the South, and give you a short personal story. I have 4 uncles. 3 of them, unfortunately, passed away during COVID. And my last uncle is real sick. And I just saw him around Labor Day. And I was telling my wife, and I don't know my father, but I was telling my wife, I said, when he passed, I have lost all the fathers in my life. Meaning that even though I had 4 uncles and I didn't know my dad, those men when I grew up in the South was the fathers of the neighborhood. And I think black men, we got to start owning that. We got to start owning who we are, carrying ourselves with class and dignity, and not be afraid that we got to fit into a society say, and I just think like when we start doing that, it change our community. I think we are supposed to be the leaders of leaders, but if we're not leading by example, why would anybody want to follow?
I think
That's definitely true.
Yeah,
That's
and I think some of
definitely
the
true. From when my grandfather, raising us, he was the grandfather of the neighborhood, and they were protectors, and they protected the people of the neighborhood. You talk to your neighbors, not so much now, and it's unfortunate that it's like that now.
Yes.
and I think too, where the youth gets lost is because everybody now is don't say nothing to my child, but we grew up in the era where everybody could put the hands on you.
Man, and did they put them hands?
And then take you home. So you
And get some more hands.
So you get the second round, yes.
So, and I think that's what and then we went through. Like, we don't want our kids to go through what we went through, but what harm did it really do to us? It made our this next generation. They are so entitled. Like they don't really want to work.
And so, you said it. They are soft.
Yeah.
Soft.
And
As soon as you say something to them, they crying.
Yeah, they crying. And that's why I say Cognac Black is not for everybody. It's a certain personality. It's a certain swag. It's a certain confidence level. And like we said earlier, bringing my kids into what I'm doing is teaching them examples. It's showing them that we can do different things. Well, Dad, how much you selling this for? And I tell them, well, how much it costs you? They get to think about the price models and whatever. Like my youngest son, he wanted to do a t-shirt business. And I'm like, okay. Now, he told me he's going to start next spring. I'm like, I hate to say it, you ain't going to start, because it doesn't happen like that. You make a t-shirt and boom, 1,000 gets sold like that. You have to start and find out what color they like. Do they really like that logo? Do you want to put it on right here? Do you want to put it big? There's so many varieties that you have to go through. So by me working with him in my business, he get to see the different things that, okay, these are some things I didn't think about. Like I asked him, you got your EIN number? What's that? Okay, research it. Because you can't really sell nothing and then put money in a bank account if you don't get a bank account set up in your business name. That's just a hobby. So we have to, our challenge for me, when I do this, My Beard, My Rule event, is going to be to challenge Black men wherever you at in your life. If you don't do nothing but talk to your nephew or your nieces and say, hey, not just like you like that rap song. Quote me a Langston Hughes poem.
Mm.
Tell me a little bit about Booker T. Washington, because they don't know. And like for me, when I see young boys wearing their pants sagging, I just ask them, help me understand. You ain't gotta be suited up. You ain't got, I get all that. Because like for me, I'm not always in. I don't wear a lot of sweats. I don't wear a lot of jeans. That's my preference. So when they tell me, well, it's it's the style. Based on who? Where's your identity? Well, it's too tight, Mr. Finch. A diaper is tighter than your pants, right? And you wore that for like a couple years. So help me understand what's really going on. So we got to get back to really educating them, and that's what I think I'm gonna, really try to embrace Cognac Blac to be.
It's something that's much needed.
Your products.
I'm
Would
sorry.
you ever want to put your products like in the main stores, like Walmart, Target, or do you want to just leave it how it is?
Honestly, so when I first was doing it, I said not Walmart, not Target. I want Neiman Marcus, because that's why I felt. Once I figured all this out, why can't it be a Neiman Marcus?
You got to speak it.
So
Right, and you
so
can't
to
think
answer the question,
small
no.
either.
I want to figure out how to get in Macy's, how to get in Neiman Marcus. So because I know there's shampoos in there that's 8 ounces, they selling for $20. Now it might not be no different than the 8 ounce at Walmart, but because of where you buying it from, the perceived value, people will pay that $20 for it. So if that's what you'll do, then I got to figure out how to get the perceived value in my product so it can go into Walmart. I mean, the Neiman Marcus and Macy's, and you won't be like, oh, this is $20. You'll gladly, like somebody said earlier, there is no hesitation to buy a Louis Vuitton purse, but yet you walk past Ross and Walmart and all them, girl, I ain't buying that purse. It ain't got the LV on it,
Right.
So it's all perceived value and perception.
What have you thought about any collaboration with any spas, day spas, or?
Yes, there's one here in Chicago. The young, okay, back to education. The young lady does a lot of men facial, so that's something we was gonna collaborate on, like actually doing a class where she walked through the necessity of having a facial. When I first did my Cognac Blac, unfortunately, my friends came over during the middle of me putting on my black mask. So I'm literally at my kitchen table, got my mask on and everything. Also, I was drinking a little bit. So I was like, oh, well, I ain't taking it off because y'all just popped up. I'm going to do what I got to do. So I do want to do the facial, show men the facials, especially like with men having razor bumps, like I have a cooling gel, to how to take care of their razor bumps. And a lot of that really starts with having a single blade razor, not a dual razor, definitely not a triple blade razor, because our skin and our hairs are different than most race. So especially our hair, it coarse and it tend to curl back underneath your skin. So you need a single blade,
you mean the razor like in the color purple?
That's a straight razor. Now,
straight razor,
yeah, that would be perfect, but not everybody. I'm gonna do my hand and do. Everybody can't hold it right.
Okay,
so that would be ideal because that's a very cleaner cut. I'm talking about when you look at the tip of the razor, called a cartilage. If you look at it, most of the time it's gonna have 2 or 3 blades on it. You want one that got a single blade. So when you look at the tip of the razor, get one that got a single blade. Because what it does, when it goes across your neck, it cut the first time, and then it cut the second time.
Okay.
Truthfully, you supposed to have, especially I'm saying for black men, because I can't speak on other races, but for black men, you should have a little stub left. Because when you cut it, the first time, it's gonna cut to the skin. When you cut it again, it cut lower. When it grows back, that's what make it curve. And then when it curls, that's your bump. So when you shave with a straight razor or a single blade razor, it doesn't. The straight razor will cut it more finer, but the single blade won't cut it so short that when it grows back, it starts curling underneath your skin. And if it does, immediately you need to take some tweezers and alcohol to pull it out. Yep. Don't just let it sit.
Cool.
Okay. Education. That's what we need.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah.
So, question. So, if as a woman, when we're shopping for our man, like Latrice gonna be shopping for her husband.
Okay.
How would you get? What would you tell us? Because we don't know. We're women. We're trying to pick out something for our man. Give us some tips and pointers. Like, what would you tell us? Like, how would you guide a woman through picking out a product, one of your products for her significant other?
So one, I would start with what do he like? Like, for instance, if he likes a body wash, I'll give you an example. Like my son used to wear Axe body wash. If you ever smell that, that stuff is strong. You don't need no cologne. So if that's the kind of stuff your man or mate like, when you buy Cognac Blac, you're not gonna get that reaction. So he gonna be like, oh, it doesn't smell good. Because people tend to buy like some people do when they eat food, buy based on their nose.
Right.
So a body wash for a man that like a lot of fragrance, Cognac Blac body wash is not gonna be ideal. However, if you want to say, hey, baby, I get you want the fresh smell and all that stuff, but this is more, it's cleaner. It doesn't dry your skin out as much as that soap you using. And then when you get out the shower, I prefer you put on, I'm trying to think of a cologne I got upstairs, this particular cologne that I like. Because at the end of the day, men tend to go by what you women say you like. So the body wash is to get us clean. But if you say, hey, here's a cologne I bought you, for your birthday, use that, he should be comfortable. As far as the beard oil, if you touching his face and like, baby, your beard is rough. He will try a beard oil. Because again, if you're using it, like I said, from neck up and put it on your skin, you will see the difference. You start seeing the skin feel it different. You start feeling the hair feel different. And when you women compliment us, we all buy in then. We 100% bought into whatever you're saying. Because most guys be like, okay, whatever you buy, baby, they cool with it. So that's what I would do. I'll make sure it's something that's going to complement his normal routine. And if it's a change, you got to tell him why. Let's try this beard oil because your beard is kind of dry, baby. Every time I kiss you, I go, oh, I don't know if you're going to cut my lip or not. But
and do you recommend like straight out the shower while it's still a little wet and then seal it with the oil or dry?
Okay, if they doing the shower at night, no. If they doing it in the morning, yes. Because you want your pores open. Because the reason I say not at night, because you're going straight to bed.
Oh, yeah.
You're going straight to bed. But you can get up in the morning. And that's something, like I said, when we do the facial, to just show how, just turn the hot water on. You ain't got to buy no facial steamer and all that stuff. Let the hot water steam into your face. And then rub the stuff in. And then take some warm water and wash it off. And then we'll get to the point where they are putting on a toner or they putting on some hydraulic acid moisturizer and all that stuff. But that's phase 2 and 3 as I educate the brothers that this is not a sexual thing. It's not changing your sexual identity or anything of that nature by taking care of your skin. Like in Chicago, we about to get probably a rough winter.
Don't say that.
I hope not. The way this rain is coming. No. You can't walk outside in this weather without moisturizer on your face.
Yeah.
But we do it all the time. We wash and go. No. Yeah. Wash, put a little moisture. And if you use good product, you don't need a lot.
Right.
Like I tell anybody, if you use my beard oil and you putting a quarter size in your palm, that ain't what you're supposed to be doing. That's not it. You need a couple drops, rub it in, and you're gonna see it. But a lot of it is education. That's something I'm working with, trying to figure out how I'm gonna do the content with esthetician to say, okay, do I always got to go to your spot? I just got to figure out how that works. So I think if I go live and I have events where we are really doing a tutorial section where people can see this how I look, because I want to do it. One is going because I always try to be very real. I want to do it when we do the facial. I'm taking a white towel and I'm gonna wipe your face down with it. You gonna see the dirt come off your face that you thought was clean. That kind
I say that all the time. A white towel will humble you.
It sure will.
That's my saying. A white towel will humble you.
It sure will.
You think you clean is clean. Wipe your face with a white towel. All that's gone out the window.
Yeah, so that's what I want to do. So I got to work on putting all that content. And as you ladies know, when you're doing it by yourself, it's a lot. it's a lot of marketing. It's a lot of video. It's so much stuff going on. Like I spent probably the last 2 years trying to still figure out Facebook ads. And I'm like, you know what? I'm done. I done wasted so much money because I didn't understand how to do it. People that I was paying to do it still didn't get no results. So I'm like, you know further than I was 2 weeks ago. So let me just figure it out on my own.
Yeah, we went through that period too.
Mm-hmm.
So I know, like, so I was married I was married before to somebody, and he wore every product. Like he would go get the Geo,
Mm-hmm.
and he wore everything out of things. So I think that it's a good idea to have a body wash that is not so fragrant, so that when the men do get out, they add that, and they add whatever fragrance they're going to add. It makes them not smell like they're the cologne bottle.
Right.
Right.
It's a
Yeah.
clean palette, clean
Right, because
slate.
I
then
really
put it
think
on.
that like some men, especially like some older men, I don't, and I could be wrong, but I think they feel like more is better, instead of just like, I want to smell you when you walk by, but I don't want to feel like I'm tasting it,
Or you choking?
or I'm choking, or that I'm wearing it after you left. Like I'm like, I don't even smell my perfume anymore because all I smell is your cologne.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And that's how it should be. It's supposed to be, to me, subtle. When I put it on, I smell it when I put it on. But then I'm not supposed to be walking around still smelling like, oh, you know, it's when you walk past somebody, they're like, oh, you smell good. That's how you know you got the appropriate amount of cologne on. And like I said, you put it on and you leave your bathroom, you walk in the kitchen, and your wife walk downstairs, like, what does that smell? And it's you, and you don't left the kitchen. That's too much.
You left something in the kitchen. You need to come get it.
That's too much. You don't spilt something, and she think you don't wasted something, and all it is was you don't waste the bottle on your body.
Less is definitely more in that case.
Being subtle, yeah. So that's why I keep everything fresh. Like I said, other than my Flirty Tingle, which has that peppermint eucalyptus smell to it, everything's pretty much a fresh, clean smell to it.
Okay, so
Flirty Tingle.
yeah, Flirty. And is that the only female product?
No, I have the Flirty Tingle, the Sultry Silk, the Nurse and Grow, which is my hair growth oil, and then what's the name of my leave-in? I forgot the name of the leave-in. The leave-in is called Lustrous Leave-In.
Hold it up so we can see. Let's see. Come on now.
Yeah, let's see the product. Let's see it.
Okay, now what's that?
So this is the leave-in. This is a luxurious leave-in conditioner. This is the 4-ounce conditioner.
Okay.
This is the Sultry Silk shampoo.
Okay.
This is a deep moisturizing shampoo.
Okay.
So like for colored hair, those that still doing perm and all that, braids, this is a good moisturizing shampoo.
Okay.
This is the Flirty Tingle. Like I said, it's a peppermint eucalyptus. It's for deep cleaning. So like a good workout after you work out, this is good.
Oh,
And
okay.
you'll feel it. Those that use peppermint oil and all that back in the day, they're like this.
Okay.
Here's my, you can't really see again, changed my label over the years. This is the facial cleanser, the fresh facial cleanser for men and women.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
And then, like I said, this the hair growth oil. There's biotin and rosemary are the two main ingredients that's in this. This is a 2-ounce bottle. Even when I sell this, because you have to get people to have expectation. So when I sell this oil, I tell them, don't put it on Monday. And you thinking by Sunday, you're going to have a 16-inch length. It's not going to happen. So before you start bashing me in a few days, try it for a good month and a half, you know, at least 3 days out the week, and then tell me it didn't work. Or, you know, but don't tell me, oh, I put it on Monday and Sunday, I heard it looked the same. I know. It takes a minute.
Yeah, I think in business too, we do as the people, we want stuff expedient. We expect
microwave.
Right. We in a microwave society right now. Everything they want everything fast.
But again, you don't hold others to that standard. So treat me the same. That's all I'm asking. Give me a clean slate, even playing field, and if it works, great. If it don't work, that's fine. But don't judge me before you get to know me. And that's all I ask for. Just give me an opportunity and we'll figure it out. One way or the other. You're going to say you like it or you're going to say you don't. And if you don't like it, I'll refund it. No question asked. I'm like Amazon. Just send it right back to me.
Mm-hmm.
That's good.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so Anthony, we want to thank you for coming on with
Thank
us
you.
today. We have your website at the bottom scrolling. Please, men and women, check out his website to support him and get his products at cognacblac.com.
Yes.
You can also follow him on social media. I know we follow him on Instagram. You can find him at Cognac. Is it cognac.blac?
Yes, on Instagram. Yes.
On Instagram, you can follow him there and keep up with him and support our brother, because we need to learn how, as a people, to support each other more. Yeah. In the meantime, we have some events coming up down the line. We have Wine and Tacos. We have the Winter Wonderland wine tour coming up. We're planning for Denver. We have Detroit coming up. Sometime, I think it's in May, but then we have our big trip that is now posted for anybody who wants to go with us to the Harvest Festival next year in Paso Robles, California. We're going to be doing some grape stomping, wine tasting. We're going to be doing a whole bunch of different things. So all of those things are on our website. You can check them out. And then stay tuned to see what we have coming up. You can follow us on all social media platforms at realgirlswine.com. Anthony, do you have anything else you want to share before we get out of here?
Yes, one I want to say thank you, ladies, for having me tonight. I enjoyed myself, and we did have a conversation like family, so thank you again. You mentioned about wine and taco. I'm sending the invitation out to you, ladies, and I will put it in the DM if you want it. We're having taco and tequila in November. Once a year, going back to the family thing, we do a Friendsgiving. And it's an event that we've done it for like the last maybe 6-7 years, where I just be thankful of my friends, even those that might come out that might not be my friends, but I thank those whatever participation they had in my life to get me to where I'm at now. So that's going to be November 18th. It's taco and tequila. All I ask when people come is come to have a good time. So,
that sounds
thank you for that.
And then Anthony Bush want to tell you, anytime you got anything coming up new, the door is always open for you to come back and visit us again on the podcast. If you ever have anything coming up, like even if you want, and it gets time for your event that you're planning and you want to talk about that, feel free to reach out. We're always here to support. We will share it on our social media platform as well, because we're all about supporting businesses to make sure that we all grow and succeed.
Okay. Two last things. I want to offer all your audience member probably about another hour. I'm put on my website a code. Real Girls what RGW, and they can get 10% off of any product that they order. Okay, and I'll leave that up for the rest of this week on Sunday night. Okay. The other thing I want to see and talk with you probably offline. Let's figure out how we can do a Christmas basket with the wines or whatever it is. If I buy them from you and package it up. So I'd like to maybe do a Christmas basket or even a Black Friday basket if we have time. So much goes on to planning these things, but definitely I want to collaborate where we can do some kind of basket and it could be mainly right now for the women, because most women, I think more women drink wine than men. So we just do something catered to the women. That'd be great.
Sounds like a plan.
All right. Well, thank you again.
Awesome.
Thank you.
RGW 10% discount. Y'all heard that?
Yes. So give me about 30 minutes to go in the back office and set it up.
Okay. And then we'll post it once it's let me know when it's done, and then we'll share it on our social media platform.
I will. Thank you again. Y'all ladies have a great night.
You too.
Thank you.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night.
Thanks for tuning in.